Today, we're diving into the tragic and really complex investigation into the murder of a 22-year-old woman in her Delhi home. It's a case that turned on forensic evidence, crucial CCTV footage, and a truly shocking timeline of events. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at how the crime was discovered. Then we'll piece together the timeline of the attack itself. After that, we'll see what the forensic evidence told investigators, cover the robbery and escape, and finally get to a pretty shocking revelation about the suspect. Okay, so it all starts with an absolutely horrific discovery. The victim, who was the 22-year-old daughter of an IRS officer, was found murdered right inside her own home. And pretty quickly, the police identified their main suspect, a man named Rahul Meena, who was actually the family's former domestic help. Now, here's the thing. The suspect wasn't some random intruder who broke in. He allegedly used a spare key to just let himself in. And he did it because he knew the victim's parents had a regular morning routine. So this wasn't just a break-in. It was a calculated entry that really exploited a position of prior trust. All right, let's move to the timeline of the crime itself. And this is where it gets frankly chilling. Because thanks to CCTV footage, investigators were able to piece together a very clear account of what happened that morning. What the CCTV shows is just a terrifyingly efficient time frame. The suspect walks into the colony at 6:30 in the morning and is seen leaving by 7:20 a.m. Think about that. The entire sequence, the assault, the murder, and the robbery, was all committed in less than an hour. Now, according to the police, the victim was up in her rooftop study room, actually preparing for her civil services exam. The attack itself was just brutal. She was first hit with a heavy blunt object and then strangled with, of all things, a mobile charging cable. Investigators also suspect she was sexually assaulted while she was unconscious. But you know, the investigation doesn't just rely on CCTV. The post-mortem examination gives us these crucial, objective details that really paint a picture of the victim's final, desperate moments. And this is so important. The autopsy confirmed she did not give up. The report detailed abrasions and bruises all over her arms, her hands, and her legs, which is clear evidence that she fought back fiercely. The exam also showed a broken nasal bone, which confirms she was struck by that blunt object. So the official cause of death was determined to be asphyxia due to strangulation. And this wasn't just a guess, it was confirmed by very specific internal injuries like bleeding in the neck muscles and fractures in the thyroid cartilage. These are the telltale signs of that kind of violent act. Okay, so let's talk about what happened right after the attack. Because the suspect's actions reveal this cold, calculated motive that went way beyond just the assault itself. I mean, the suspect's actions after the attack were just so cold and methodical. He allegedly dragged her body downstairs and then tried to use her own fingerprint to open a locker. When that didn't work, he just broke it open with a screwdriver, stole cash and jewelry, and then even took the time to change out of his blood-stained clothes before he fled. Well, the manhunt for Rahul Meena finally ended when police managed to track him down and arrest him at a hotel in Dwarka. But his arrest? That led to an even more disturbing discovery. Yeah, because as police started digging deeper, they uncovered that this wasn't the only serious crime the suspect had allegedly committed that day. And this revelation is just shocking. Police allege that just hours before committing the murder in Delhi, the very same suspect had raped his friend's wife back in Alwar, Rajasthan. That means he allegedly committed 2 heinous crimes in 2 different states, all within a matter of hours. You know, this case is a horrific tragedy, but it also forces us to confront a really difficult question. The perpetrator wasn't a stranger. He was someone known to the family, someone who once had access to their home. It leaves you wondering, what does a case like this reveal about the very nature of trust and about the security of the spaces we consider to be our safest?